It's Akriash here. I know it's been a minute. I'm just doing a follow-up video on a review I did a few months ago, several months ago, back in August, um, on the group called Creative Undertakings. I went to Cypha Con again this year, and they actually had a booth. And I went to speak with them. I did ask for a private meeting because I didn't want to do it where their clients could overhear, because that's just rude in my opinion. But they were more than willing to talk to me. I explained that I had placed an order. I had not gotten it, had gotten no contact, nothing, everything like that, like I said in my previous video, and that I was fairly upset with the situation. And the woman I spoke with, I believe she said she was his wife, said she actually had the figure with her at the con, and she was hoping that I would show up because, unfortunately, there had been an incident with his phone. One of the other people helping her run the booth had stated that it had actually fallen into a pool, and they'd had some issues with it, which is apparently why my messages were getting read, but I was not getting a response, because his phone had ended up damaged and it wasn't working correctly. And when he did finally get it replaced, he could not actually find my contact information to contact me, because we'd only been talking through text and Cash App and not through any other social media platform or anything like that. I said I thought that if I remember, there was no other social media at the time. I couldn't remember, but I did actually rewatch my old review videos. They did have the Facebook and Instagram. I don't know if I just had been unable to find it. I did state where they were, but if I had just been unable to actually reach out, or if I hadn't gotten a response at the time, I'm not entirely sure. That may have been a lapse on my part. I will admit to that. But his phone had not been working, so he'd had to get a replacement, and they'd lost the contact information. And because we had never actually contacted each other on social media, we'd only never talked in Cash App and text message, he'd been unable to reach out. So they had been hoping I would show up at the con to give me the figure I had been promised, which I have been given. They did not charge me because I had already paid for it. They had simply brought it in the hopes that I may show up. There was no guarantee I would even be there. So they just pulled it right out, gave it straight to me. Yeah. Now, I will admit, he did fracture a little bit. This was no fault of his. This particular piece comes with a crow that sits on the shoulder, and he holds a rose. I did not have a proper way of storing him to transport him. I did not. This was not their fault. And they didn't know if I would even show up, so they had no way to give me a way to transport him at the time, because as far as they knew, they might have to sell it, because they didn't know if I was even going to be there. Now, I did not have a way to transfer it, so the rose he is holding, because he does hold a rose right here, just slipped right off, and the crow did as well. I did confirm with them that it is easily repairable, and it's not major damage. These pieces did just slide off because they're very small places where they're connecting. Now, I do not hold them at fault for this at all. I can easily fix this all on my own. I do not blame them for this at all. I did not have proper storage. That's on me, not them. But they did speak with me They did apologize profusely about the issue. And as I had not contacted them through Facebook or Instagram or any social media they may have had, which I did state in the previous video, that they had no way of reaching back out to me because they did lose my phone number where we had been texting. So I can accept that. And I did let them know I did give a review. It was not a good review because I was not happy with the situation. I did tell her that it had been a while, but I was pretty sure I had not had an alternate way to contact them other than the text messages. But like I said, it's been a while since I've done this video and everything. I did rewatch it to see what was going on, just so I could see what I had said. I did have Facebook and Instagram, as I said in the previous video, where I could have reached out, and either I failed to, which I could have, and I failed to do so, or for some reason I did, and they had not been able to respond to me due to circumstances, whether it be because they were trying to sort out the phone or other orders. I don't know. I do not have the full details of that. But they did apologize profusely. They did provide me with the sculpture that I had wanted. I'm very happy with how it turned out. Crow and Rose aside, I can fix those. Those are perfectly fine. I do not blame them. I love this piece. And considering all the information I now have, I'm thankful that they remember me. Like, I didn't even have to fully explain my side of it. When she was like, you were the one. It's right here. She knew immediately who I was, and she was like, yeah, he was asking me like 2-3 weeks ago, like, I hope she's there. If she's there, we need to give her this. Because he'd been trying to reach me and he just couldn't find a way to do so. So they knew exactly who I was. They did state there had been some other issues they had been working through, and the cons coming up and all that and work. So overall, I know I did give them a -5 out of 5. Very bad. And I did state, be cautious. And I would continue to state, be cautious with who you deal with online. This is not the first time I've given money to someone for an item and I have not gotten it. They've deleted accounts, things like that. This is not the first time. But this is the first time that they've actually stepped up and been like, hey, this is the situation. We know exactly who you are. We know what happened. When we do apologize, we have it right here for you. They owned up that maybe they messed up, and I can own up that maybe I messed up. I apparently, according to previous video, I did have alternate ways of contacting them, and whether I failed to do so, that would be my fault. But they owned up. They had my piece. I'm happy. They were very friendly, super apologetic. And again, if you're going to order something, again, just be careful. But if you do have alternate means of reaching out to them, make sure to do so. Just in case I failed to do so, then that's my fault. I will change my rating, obviously, from a -5. I'm still not super thrilled with how it was handled, but I cannot blame them at all. Because, yes, I did have messages that were shown as read, but that could have been a technical error when his phone was damaged. So, overall, am I thrilled with how it was handled, how long it took? No. Do I forgive them? Absolutely. Will I try and make sure I order directly from their booth? From now on, yes. But I would certainly change it from like a -5 to a 5 out of 5. Again, they were very apologetic. They knew exactly what was going on. And they explained it in full detail. And I will not hold a grudge about that. Am I upset it took a year? Yes, but I can absolutely understand the situation and how it ended up like that, and I will not hold them at fault for that. Things do happen, and you can't avoid it. In this case, something happened, from what I have been told. I am choosing to believe that is what happened, because, again, they knew exactly what was going on. They didn't try and deny it. They didn't try and come up with a story. Just like, I got you. So, I'm choosing to believe that they told me the truth about everything else. His phone was damaged. He had been unable to respond, and when he got his phone replaced, there was no way to contact me because we had never contacted each other with alternate means. So I will personally change their rating from -5 to 5, and just again, if you do have alternate means of contacting someone when they fall quiet like that, certainly try and do so. And as for Creative Undertakings, I was advised by them that instead of contacting through text like he had told me to do, try and contact through social media. They do have 4 people running it now, so that you're much more likely to get a response. So if you do choose to order from them, I would suggest going through the social media because you're much more likely to get a response from one of the 4. And of course, I'm not giving you his cell phone number. I'm just not doing it. It's probably not even a cell phone number anymore. But go through their social media. And if there is a delay in response time, make sure to reach back out. I will list their links to their social media in the comments below. They do have beautiful pieces, so feel free to check them out. And if you do meet them at a con, absolutely go talk to them. They've been super friendly, super nice, and they do wonderful work. So go check them out. If you do see the piece at the con, make sure to get it when you're there because the chances are it will be bought before you leave, like it was for me. And if you do fail to do so, again, go through social media. So that is my follow-up. Again, this is the piece I had commissioned. Eric Draven. I absolutely love it. It is perfect. I will love this forever. So go check out Creative Undertakings. Again, their stuff will be in the bio or the comments below. Go check them out. Super friendly. Go through social media or try and find them at a con. They are super friendly to talk to. So if you do get the chance to meet them in person, absolutely do so. And thank you for your time. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment. I'll be happy to answer any of them. And I hope you guys have a good day.